Regain. Yes, I'm going to talk about regain. There's been a few videos about that recently, and I know I talked a little bit about it when I started my sort of reset in March, February, whenever it was. But I want to talk about it again in a little more detail here. Regain, post-weight loss surgery. Does it have to happen? No, it doesn't. There are many people in our community who are proof positive of that, who have been able to reach their goal and maintain that for a significant amount of time. There are people who reached their goal and decided that really and truly they didn't like being that low in weight. So consciously put on a little bit more weight to feel their best. That's okay too. There's a large contingency of us who experienced regain before we reached our goal or after we reached our goal. It was not our intention to regain, but it happened. And it happens more often than it doesn't happen, and that's why they say it's normal. Yes, it's normal for the majority of people to regain between 15 and 20 pounds. Regain is not putting on 3 to 5 pounds this week and losing it next week. That's not regain. Regain is consistently week after week seeing that scale go up, and maybe it goes down a couple pounds one week, but then when you're more often sitting higher than you are lower, and that number keeps going up. And they say the norm is 15 to 20 pounds. And they say it's normal because that's what happens to the majority of people. Doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a weak person. It makes you normal. Okay? Why does regain happen? I think we just get tired. I think it's a combination of things. I think when we lose that weight, however much, like I'm down 150 pounds and I can do anything that I want to do. Part of that is doing way more socializing than I used to do. And part of socializing often includes having a little bit of wine, eating a little food. And at those occasions, those social occasions, the foods are not generally what we should normally be eating on a regular basis, right? They're snacky foods. They're usually high carbs, high calorie. Not always, but often. And you just want to enjoy living. Like after you're at it for a year or so, I don't know. I'm still searching to find that balance myself, right? Because I am a very social person, and once a week, twice a week, I will get invited out for dinner, or we'll plan some sort of thing going out. And yes, you can make healthier choices. You can make healthy choices off of a menu, but sometimes you just want to have a sweet potato fry. And I don't know. I'm still searching for that balance, right? I really truly believe that there should be no food that you say I can never eat again, right? But I also don't know how to find that balance. Like I can maintain. I feel fairly confident in that. But it's restricting your calories that little bit extra to continue to lose when you get to this point. That's what I'm struggling with. And part of it is I'm still not 100% sure where I want to go. Like when I look at my face in this video, I don't like the extra skin underneath here. But if I didn't have the skin, I'd be quite happy with where I am right now, I think. Anyways, I'm going to talk to the plastic surgeon about that and where I should be heading to. But you just start feeling normal and you start doing a lot more than you used to, and so it becomes more difficult to stay on track, right? The other part of that is you just get tired sometimes. Like it's just really, it's a lot of work day after day to count every calorie, to stay between that 1,000 and 1,200 calories. It takes a lot of energy. And if you only had that to worry about, it wouldn't be difficult. But you have the rest of your life to worry about too. So it might be work, it might be family, you know, whatever. But there sometimes it's just really difficult to stay focused for 2 or 3 years, right? I got tired. I mean, I was going through some emotional stuff too, but I still get tired, and I still get angry sometimes because I know that this is my forever life. Don't get me wrong, I'm 100% grateful and happy with my life. But it's hard. You know, it's hard to have to always be thinking about it. And you know, maybe people who never had weight issues, maybe they just always are conscious of what they're eating and how much of it they were eating. But I do find that very taxing and very draining sometimes, and sometimes I just don't want to have to think about it. And I don't mean for days on end, but just for one day. And when you're still trying to lose weight, it's those 1 or 2 days that can completely sabotage your week's efforts, right? I think when you get to maintenance, you have to be conscious all the time. But again, you have that leeway of a few pounds, and so if you have that one day when you go out and you eat the sweet potato fries or whatever it is that you ate, and the scale is up for a couple of days, it's okay. But when you're still trying to lose, that yo-yoing up and down, it's difficult. And it's those 1 or 2 days that can sabotage your week's effort week after week. So it's different, I think, when you're in maintenance. There's still work to be done, and you still have to be conscious, but it's just hard when you're still trying to lose and you're almost 3 years out. Okay, so I had to take a break for a minute, so I'm just finishing up my regain video. Strategies. So how do you deal with regain? How do you get refocused? How do you get back on track? That's a really good question, and it's one that many of us are trying to figure out. I think it would be a really good idea if everyone out there who has gone through regain or is currently going through it comes up with any answers, that you share it here online. I mean, that's why we're all here, right, is to share. I don't know what the answer is. I think we just need to do our best to keep on keeping on. And if that means for, you know, when you get this far out, if that means, like me, and I am going to just keep on doing the best that I can do without beating myself up when I have those days that aren't good days. And if it's 1 pound at a time that the scale goes down, that's a good thing, right? And if you can maintain where you are, that's a good thing. People talk about food addictions and trigger foods, and I do believe that there are trigger foods. There are certainly foods that we can eat that make us want to eat more. But what do you do if you just really like something that you're not supposed to eat on a regular basis? What do you do if your foods of choice are not what's considered the healthier choices in life? Nobody says that you have a food addiction if you want broccoli on your plate for every meal, or if you want to eat green beans for every meal. That's not a food addiction because you're eating healthy. But if you like to have potato chips in the evening when you're watching TV, or if, like me, if you had your, if I could do it and still lose weight or maintain, I would have a sandwich every single day for lunch. I love sandwiches. I'm not addicted to them. I can live without them. But really and truly, if you lined up, I don't know what on the table. I mean, I like bread. I like pasta. I'm not addicted to them. I don't physically go into withdrawal if I don't have them. But I choose not to because I can't lose weight if I eat the foods that I enjoy eating on a regular basis. So it's a whole, and I don't know, can people be addicted to food? I guess maybe they can. But maybe you just enjoy eating stuff that is the high-calorie foods, right? And it's not that I don't enjoy eating a salad. It's not that I don't enjoy eating broccoli and green beans. But it makes me angry sometimes that the stuff that I enjoy most are the things that I have to say no to forever. That makes me angry. Pissed right off sometimes. But it is what it is, right? Another thing that really has to be spoken about is the discussion around goals, what those are, what they should be, what's realistic. And again, I know many, many people reach what's considered the normal BMI range, and that's wonderful. But is that something that you want in your life? Take a good hard look at where you are right now, where your life is at, how you're feeling. Maybe you need to reset your goals. A textbook tells us, for instance, that our blood pressure should be 120 on 80. That's normal. Okay? As a nurse, I've taken blood pressures on people that were 90 on 46 or 122 on 88, maybe 128 on 76. Those normal ranges that are handed out are just guides. And as a nurse, if somebody tells me that their blood pressure is always 100 on 46, now that's exceptionally low for most people. And if they're symptomatic, we'd be concerned. But if that's where they've always been and they feel well and are otherwise healthy, it is what it is. So if your weight, according to a chart in a book somewhere, is higher than what they call normal, but you feel well and you're doing all the things that you always wanted to do in your life and couldn't when you were heavier. I'm sorry, I get emotional about this because so many people judge themselves by those fucking numbers. And they're meaningless. There are hundreds of people who are in a normal BMI and are the sickest people you're ever going to meet, or are the most unhappy people you're ever going to meet. So don't judge yourself by a number in a book. Look at your life. Are you feeling well? Are you healthy? Can you do the things that you want to do? Re-examine what you've set for your goals to be. And it's not a cop-out. It's not a cop-out. We're all different. There is research out there, in fact, that is pointing to the fact that being too thin, or even at the lower end of what they call the normal BMI, is unhealthy. And there's more and more research out there that are saying people who are in what's considered the slightly overweight category on a BMI chart are actually healthier than the folks who are in the BMI part of the chart, especially as you start getting older. So don't judge yourself by a number. Judge yourself by what's happening in your life and how you're feeling. The other part of that is, don't judge your progress just by your weight alone. What are your clothes fitting like? I'm weighing slightly more, well, actually about the same, I guess, as, I can't remember what my lowest weight was, but I don't think I got much lower than where I am right now. I'm wearing clothes that I pulled out of my summer stuff that I could never wear before because they were too tight. Some of it's too big. And if I judge myself strictly by the number that was on the scale, I could take no satisfaction out of that. But I put them on and they fit now. So really, again, fuck the numbers. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel sometimes. I get so frustrated. Yes, I still want to lose a little bit more, but I haven't set my goal yet because I'm just going to judge for me what's best. And to hell with what a textbook says. Anyways, I don't know how long all of these will be when I cut them together, but I guess mainly what I wanted to say, if you've experienced regain, if you're currently experiencing regain, don't lose faith in yourself. Love yourself enough to know that you're normal, you're not bad, and you're not alone. We're all here together, regardless of where you are in your journey. Anyways, take care of yourself.